first ever Marvel movie was released in 1944 as a film serial, being titled Captain America. Here's a quick background on Captain America. Captain America was created by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon in 1941 in Captain America Comics #1. It was actually considered a controversial issue when it came out because it showcased them taking a side in the war because America was not yet involved in World War II. So showing a character called Captain America punching Hitler was controversial with some German enthusiasts in the country. But just remind you guys, it's always okay to punch a Nazi. Both Joe Simon and Jack Kirby were Jewish, and we're not a big fan of Nazi Germany for obvious reasons. So they thought that America should act out, and Captain America was one of them. His character is pretty basic. It's what you all know today, pretty much. Steve Rogers was just a little scrawny kid who wanted to join the military, the war effort, and then he got super soldier serum to make him Captain America. Fortunately, he was the only super soldier, which sucks for him. But he finds a local kid there named Bucky Barnes. That's not his full name, but we'll just call him that. And becomes his sidekick. Bucky's an obvious ripoff of Robin, but that's beside the point. And they fight war and battles against Nazis and any other espionage. So that's Captain America in the comics, and of course he has a shield. Originally it's a shield shape, then later, pretty quickly, it changes to a circular shape that you can throw around. So, what do they change? Well, everything. Captain America in the film, portrayed by Dick Purcell, I don't know how to say that, and also Grant Gardner, who is not Steve Rogers. In this film, Captain America is a district attorney named Grant Gardner, who has basically virtually nothing to do with Steve Rogers, because he was never a district attorney, he was a soldier in war. Completely different. As Captain America, he seems to have virtually zero superpowers. He just punches people around and sometimes shoots a gun. He does seem tough, but not like a superhuman tough, just like a guy who's pretty daring and like a ninja aspect more than anything else. He acts more like a brawler more than anything. He doesn't seem to have any really fighting skills or any learned combat skills. He just kind of like tackles and brawls around. So yeah, he's not really skilled that much. He's just good at punching, I guess. He doesn't have a shield, which is really weird. Like, they couldn't even give him that. Like, he didn't even have to throw it, just could have had it. He just rather punch people and occasionally shoot. He rarely uses a gun. You'd think he would, but, Captain America, he's like, whatever. One of the other main aspects of the character at the time is the fact his sidekick Bucky is nowhere to be seen in this movie. Which is strange, because the Batman film serials had featured Robin, so why not feature Bucky in these? He was a big character. Here's a good look at what Captain America looks like in the film. This is our first Marvel comic superhero adaptation, so let's take a look at his suit, since it's kind of hard to see in the actual film. And it's okay. Obviously, Captain America's costume doesn't translate that well to black and white due to the fact it's pretty brightly colored, but they got a lot of the main aspects there. He has more obvious trunks he does in the comics, and traditional boots and gloves. But the one thing he's missing, other than his shield, is his wings on the side, which I guess they thought was kind of goofy. The mask part doesn't look too good, and it looks like pretty untactile, but it's fine for what it is. The poster for the film serial features Captain America with some weird colorization, with his star and the A being red, as well as wings on his cap, as well as the, I don't even know what to call that style, but it's the armor, or the fish stuff. I know it's in the comics too, but yeah, no, that seems to be at all in the film serial, because it looks cloth and there's no wings, and I'm pretty sure the star and the A were looked white, but I can't really tell. Overall, it's kind of a weird adaptation. Plus, this poster just doesn't look that great when you look at it. I've mentioned multiple times already that this is a film serial, which isn't technically a film. If you're unaware, a film serial is an episodic film, basically. Each segment ends with a cliffhanger, and it says, stay tuned for next week. These are released weekly in the theater. You had to go out. It's kind of like a TV show miniseries. Even has its own intro and theme. Each chapter would have their own title card, as well as a recap of the previous segment, which are pretty short, actually. I don't know why, but the recap part of the chapter is actually my favorite part of these, because I really like the music that plays during them. I don't know why it is. I really like the way it sounds. It kind of gives me that otherworldly feel. It's kind of weird seeing these old portraits and the weird text. I don't know, something about it. Though it being a film serial is my biggest problem with the film. This is the first film serial I ever saw, and it is pretty tough to get through because these were not meant to be watched like this. The film is 4 hours long in total for all the 15 chapters, and it is incredibly repetitive. Each chapter basically goes down to this. The bad guys are playing to not get caught. The police and Captain America are trying to figure out who the bad guy is. Captain America fights some guys. And then something happens to make you think that Captain America or someone else died, like a random barn exploding. Another problem with this is the fact that since a lot of these are new chapters, we'll have to see the same scenes we've seen previously because it's being recapped. Also, a lot of cliffhangers are annoying, like the explosion in the barn. It turns out Captain America and his girlfriend, I guess, ran out the barn before that, even though previously it looked like he was already blown up. Yeah, they tricked you. And I don't mind that, cliffhangers were pretty fun, but some of them pretty just flat out dumb. Like when a slow-ass tractor is going to crush Captain America because he's fainted. Oh, I wonder if he's going to die here. Like, what kid would be scared of that? Because these are mainly kids, by the way. Also, the reveal is funny. So we see, because it's rounding him over. And then as soon as he goes around, like, he's like, oh, he's just slowly getting up now. Oh. That cracks me up. Was anybody in suspense about that? Hey, if you were alive back in the day and somehow watching this video, did that scare you? Were you scared that Captain America might die there? So yeah, what's the funniest thing about this movie is that despite it being the longest, I probably had the least amount to say because it's just really repetitive. It's basically some guy, he's an archaeologist guy, who's an asshole, who calls himself the Scarab. Basically he's trying to scam people who he worked with because he felt like he's got gypped. And basically makes them kill themselves, and Captain America has to prevent these deaths. It's an okay plot, but because, like I said, because of the format, it goes on for way too long. Like, if someone edited this into a movie, it would probably be fine, but it just doesn't really work for the way it is. And yeah, I know it's because of a film serial, but I'm still judging it by what I see. The fight scenes are okay. They're not the most impressive in the world, but they are just throwing each other at each other, and that's kind of fun to see. And the film would be completely fine, but another problem is the fact that it's called Captain America, and even for the time period, this was not very accurate to the character. Captain America's love interest, Gail Richards, is not from the comics. His alter ego, which is not, or his profession, is not from the comics. His shield's not there. Bucky's not there. None of the comic book villains from the time are there. Red Skull, nothing. And these are stuff that's still around today, but back in the day they were still popular. The World War II aspect's not there. There's no fighting Nazis or anything else like that. It's just a spy thriller of Captain America trying to cover a mystery. But it's not Captain America. It's just a guy who dresses up like a guy that's American-based. But like I said, nothing about this really represents the America. Because that's Captain America's whole goal, is that you're supposed to represent American idealism. His stories represent fighting for causes around the idea of America, basically. This story about a guy getting revenge on people for his excavation stuff is just, well, doesn't really fit with the character. And it'd be fine with another, like, his own thing, but it felt like they just throw a script onto the character they just got their rights to. Like, oh, we have this script for this Scarab guy, we'll put your Marvel, it wasn't even at Marvel at the time, we'll put this Captain America guy there, because why not? And yeah, that was it. We would not see another Marvel movie until the 1970s. The 1960s was technically the next time we would see a Marvel media, but I'm not covering TV shows. But before I go, I gotta mention one dumb thing about this movie. Near the end, Captain America's like, see? This guy's last name is reversed for the Scarab. See? Doesn't that make sense? Look, well, we could have come earlier then. Like, why would he use his name reversed? That's such a stupid thing. I know it's been used in some other movies, but like Alucard, but that's even dumb there. But that's just dumb. This guy's a retard. And that's it for this movie. If you want to go watch it, it's pretty easy to find. It's on YouTube for free. Or you can watch it chapter by chapter. It is up to you. Here is the first ever tier list of the Marvels. And yeah, I found a pretty good one that has a bunch of crap on it, so looks like we're good to go. Captain America film serial gets in the E tier. It's, actually, hold up. It's technically rated a 4, so it'd be an F tier. Because, you know, F tier for me is going to be 4 for 1, and then everything else, E's 5, and D6, and it goes up from there. The film is not very good. It's alright for what it is. It's just, as a whole product is, when I'm looking at it, it's not the greatest. It's a curiosity piece more than anything. Like, this is the first Marvel thing ever media released, and that's not a comic book, first adaptation. Not really. It's too long to really recommend, and it's not interesting enough to keep your attention. It was a struggle for me to get through it, and I'm not usually like that. I usually can sit through things like that, but like it was like getting on my nerves. But yeah, there you go. First one done, and the next one we'll be covering will be the 1970s. So I'll see you then. 40s to 70s. Like I said, the Marvel Golden Age was very short-lived until the Silver Age, when they really became the Marvel we all know and love. In fact, Marvel and Golden Age wasn't even called Marvel. I think it was Atlas or Timely. One of the two. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for next time.